We'll move on then to Houston with a relatively quiet move. Window being said. Sebastian Kowalczyk, a central attacking midfielder out of the Polish league, if I remember correctly. I think it was the Polish league. I don't quite know the team he came from, so quick little refresh there. And then out, Juan Castilla is out, as well as Sebastian Ferreira, both moving on this window after falling out of favor. Juan Castillo or Castilla, excuse me, on a permanent, and Sebastian Ferreira on a loan with an option. Houston got him again, kind of right on the bubble there, but there's a big battle for those last couple spots with SKC, who's now on the rise. Minnesota's still in there. Portland and even LA Galaxy when they get a couple of those new faces in. You've brought in this. Yes, it was a Polish league. I was correct. A 24-year-old attacking midfielder from the Polish league to allow Bossy to either float out wide, do a double 10 pivot.
I'm sorry, who?
You know who it is.
Who?
You know
Bossy? I
who
don't
it
know who this Bossy is. I only know Posse.
is. He's the next one up on our top 10 PK list takers, by the way.
He'll be there one day.
Yep. No, so it gives them again, it gives Benny Ball a little bit of flexibility to try different things, which will be interesting because I think we mentioned that at the beginning of the season, the last time that Houston had made the playoffs, they had a proper number 10. Thomas Vera, I believe it was. And even though Bossy did come in playing as the number 10, quote unquote, he drifted out wide a lot and did a lot of wide space creating and kind of let Carrasquilla and uh, Hector Herrera do a little bit more work in there. This gives you a proper true number 10 and allows you to try a bunch of different things. I like it. I think it gives them a step up on some of the other teams here. So I'll go B minus because it wasn't a lot. And the loss of Ferreira not figuring out how to get him involved, not a huge fan of it because he was so influential for them last year. But outside of that, I don't think it was too bad a window.
I'm going to go on the opposite on this one. I don't think they had a good window.
Boo.
Like you said, they're on the cusp of the playoffs right now, but I think this team is trending downward and downward quickly. I think they had a pretty hot start to the season, and I feel like at some point they were pretty up there in the standings, like maybe even top 5 in the West at some point. And now they're in 10th, and I think that they're only going to continue to go down. I don't really this window they added Kowalczyk, and I just don't know if that's enough to get them stable again and in that playoff hunt. I mean, I think Minnesota is going to put heavy pressure on them, especially because Reynoso's back now. SKC could make moves, like you said. They're playing a bit better. I wouldn't even be too surprised if Galaxy pulled it together. But I mean, I guess considering how injured they are, I don't think that's probably going to happen. But I don't think Houston's spot in the playoffs is secure at all. And I think it could be very likely that a couple teams sneak up on them and pass them in the standings. I mean, Minnesota's got a game in hand and they're only 1 point back. So assuming Minnesota even just gets a draw in that game, Houston's on the outside of the playoffs. And I just don't think one guy coming in helps keep them in the playoff chase there. I don't like the direction it's going. I'm not saying that like Kowalczyk is a bad signing. I mean, I don't know anything about him, so it's hard for me to say, but I think it's a good positional add for them. Add to the attack where I think they've been a little bit weaker than in the defense. But I feel like they should have done more. I mean, granted, I don't know their roster rule spot right now. Maybe they're kind of handcuffed too, but feels like a quiet window for a team that is barely in the playoffs right now and is trending in the wrong direction. So I am going to go C minus on this one. And I think that might be a little generous.
Think you're a loser who just wants to hate on Benny Ball, and
I got to see Benny Ball live.
I will not sit here and listen to the slander.
Benny Ball and staff got a lot of yellow cards that game.
I bet he did. So I mean, time will tell. I think they brought in Ibrahim Aliou as well to be that attacker. He came in the other transfer window. Um, he might need a proper number 10 to unlock him, and that might be what this changes. I think Karaskija, that holding on to Karaskija is a great piece of business as well in this window, because lots of teams rumored to be looking for his signature in Spain particularly. And he will be key to that big push that they're about to have. So a little bit more success here than I think you give them credit for. But